10 minutes out. It's price is a little bit confusing today. So let me get settled here before the news. All right, yeah. So I considered not doing a stream today, last minute, just because gold isn't where I wanted it to be. It's kind of trying to get there in the last like few minutes. Um, so it's probably going to be a wait on gold, because my initial thoughts are that there could be a sell-off on the USD instead of a buy-in, because of how price has moved uh, in the last few hours. So I was expecting price to move up and stay around level 4 and 3, or even push up to 2040 before this data releases. And it moved beforehand and came back into the support at level 3. So that's a little concerning. So I don't think I'm going to be able to, unless for some reason in the next 7 minutes it pushes back up to level 4. But I'm probably going to have to wait this out on gold, which really sucks because I didn't enter trades up at level 3 and 4 before this data released, because I thought that it would stay just before it. So really unfortunate. I am considering a trade on the USD CAD. I'll probably take this one. And the reason for this is because the GDP is coming out for the CAD. And I think that it's in a good place for price to fall from this level 2. So I'll probably take a smaller 0.5 lot trade there. But it could be a little bit of a nightmare on this for me if price if it's like negative USD or something like that, and this pushes up, it could push up a lot, to 2040, maybe beyond. So I'm gonna have to keep a look on this. So my drawdown could get higher here if because of this move down here, showing me that this could be a pretty substantial move on the upside. So I'm hoping I'm wrong here and this ends up pushing down further. But this movement over the last few hours, yeah, that's confusing. That makes it much more difficult to trade this session. But from what I can see on the other pairs, like the Aussie USD, it's in a place to have a bounce, which means a USD sell-off. The USD CAD is in a place to have a pullback, which would be a USD sell-off. The USD Swiss franc, nothing here. US dollar, UJ, it had a pullback during the night, over the last few hours, and then it's been this could be signs of a USD buy-in, but I think that this is kind of confusing in here as well, not really telling me much. So, let's see. See what the chat's up to. How's it going, guys? Yeah, so I think I have to wait until the news comes out before I take any positions here. It's not at level 3. It's already closed, or it's already above level 3. It's in between these two levels. So I'm probably gonna have to wait for the news to release, and then I can probably add something. But if it pushes up initially, then I'll probably have to wait until 2040 to place any sell trades, and I might even wait until after the initial movement's done. So if this pushes up like 100 pips or more, I might even wait until 2050 to enter in any positions all the way up there. So I'm going to enter this USD CAD trade here in a second. I hope that this pushes gold down. I don't have any orders up here, but if it pushes it down, then it will still give me better placement to get out of these trades. And I could probably add to it. So if there's an initial whip down, I might enter some trades just below level 2029. But based on what the EU isn't telling me very much, the GU isn't telling me very much either. This has been the last few hours, so we could be running into level 4 support for a push on the upside. I'm still leaning more towards a USD sell-off. All right, so I'm going to enter this trade on the CAD. There's also a lot of spacing right here from level 2 to level 3. So giving me a good idea that this could be the top before a pretty big sell-off. So I'm not going to set a take profit on this trade or stop loss. I'm going to let that run. But I am going to be watching gold to see how this pans out. It's really too bad though. I couldn't get these trades at the top. But maybe it's a good thing. Okay, so that is a USD buy-in, it looks like. Let's see how gold reacts to this though. So you can see my trade on the USD CAD is working out okay. Numbers are still coming in. Okay, I might be having a bit of a chart freeze there during the news event. Numbers are still pending. Wow. Okay. So unemployment claims are down, and the core PCE is as expected. Interesting. Okay. So yeah, I mean it's a USD buy-in, right? That's what's happening right now. So this push up before or during yesterday's trading and pretty late into the Japanese European session, and then this happening at the beginning, near the beginning of the European session, and then for better placement. So there was some confusion that's happening in here, and then this push up. Um, so that sucks. It could be limited though. It could be. So I'm gonna wait until I'm gonna enter one trade at settlement at 2040. I'd much rather not just enter a sell trade uh, by itself. I think I'd rather wait to see what kind of reaction I get on the lower time frames before entering any positions. And CAD GDP is negative. Yeah, this could be interesting today, where it might not just be straight one-sided on this. Yeah. Okay, so what I'm going to be looking for on gold is how it reacts to 2040, 2040. Um, so kind of wanted to push up and tap that level, and then I'll be looking for some kind of rejection or sign that it's a good place to enter. So there's this tapping of 2040, and also price closing below 2036, and then I might enter on the downside. I still might get my chance to get position here, but I don't want to get caught in this if it's just going to move down a little bit and then pushes back up a lot. Then I don't want to get stuck in a bunch of trades right here. So I've got to be careful with how I play this. CAD trade's working out well. All right, so still going up. Now, where could this stop? And could it reject at 2040? So now we're, since the news, we're up about 90 pips. Okay, so now I'm looking for a rejection or a closure below 2040. Yeah, I'm waiting to sell gold here. I gotta wait out this push. Hopefully it doesn't go too deep, but if I can figure out where it's gonna stop, then and then enter there, then I can enter heavily. So okay, so now we're starting to get a little bit of a reaction here in this pocket of price, and so this is a key pocket right here. But if it has enough momentum, it will just blow past it, right? Okay, not getting. I wanted the USD CAD to break below level 2. Right now, it's still getting stuck there. All right, pretty muted reactions on the pound, USD, EU, UJ. Not much going on there. So the muted reactions on these pairs could mean that this move on gold is temporary. So yeah, I again want to see at least an M1 closure below 2040, and that could be my start to looking for to add to my selling positions. So if I see some closures on the M1 below 2040, then I'll probably also close out my USD CAD trade as well. Does it make sense if I'm seeing that a USD buy-in is starting, then why hold on to my UCAD trade? Okay, so the USD, the EU is showing that kind of this push up initially, and then look at this. This is a big wick on this candle forming right now. Okay. Okay, so we're getting close here. I'm probably going to enter on the first M1 closure below. Oh, that's close. Well, we're getting a little bit further away from 2040. So this indices will probably, I mean, it's looking like it's going to probably run up to 39,000 retest. All right, so not looking good for 2040 rejection at this point. I mean, there's still 20 minutes left of this H1 candle. So you still could get it. But, I mean, that is a 130 pip candle that we're looking at right now. But this is what I was talking to you guys about, that because of this push down from 2036, it's probably good that I wasn't in these trades right here, because if I was in these and this was taking place, I would be in much higher drawdown right now. So I probably played this as best I could and not placing trades at 2036 and 2037 because, yeah, would be in higher drawdown. All right, so watching gold, you can see how when it pushes, so like it's got this impulsive move, right? And when it starts to like level off like this, the momentum is stopping. It means that a lot of times it could just start falling in the opposite direction. I don't typically see it start slowing down and then all of a sudden it starts picking up again. It doesn't happen with gold very often, at least that I've seen in the last couple of weeks since really focusing in on it. That whipsaw is still coming in on the EU. I'm still ready to sell this, man. I want to get a better confirmation. So are some of you selling gold as well? Or are you guys in some other trades? Hopefully short USD before this data released. But I mean, most pairs aren't really giving you much reaction. Like EU, not much. GU, USD Swiss franc, USD Japanese yen, none of these are really giving much. The only one that really looked like it's really going is the USD CAD. So that trade is working out very well. So far in about 23 pips profit. Let's see if it holds. So my drawdown is about 8.25% right now. So I kind of need this to pull back pretty soon. Glad I don't have any trades at 2040, nothing at 2036. So how far can this go? Almost 150 pips at this point. You know, it was an interesting situation. I saw this was happening, right? And I knew that this was a pretty good possibility that we could have a USD sell-off, right? I was considering entering heavily, like 2-3 lots on the USD CAD to hedge out my potential drawdown that was going to take place on gold. It was a crazy thought, and it it couldn't happen. You just couldn't do that. It's too risky because if I happen to be wrong and I have 2 to 3 lots on this and it pushes up, I'm in a bad place because I have no positions to help me on gold because I didn't have my hedges or selling at the top of the move before it started pushing down. So it wasn't good placement, even though it was a thought that crossed my mind, because I knew that the CAD was in a great place for that pullback to take place. All right, so I am going to place a pending order at this level 2 at 2050. And that's because I doubt that we'll see much more than around 200 pips on this move, and so I'll probably place one at here at 2050 and then another at 2054. So about 30 pips profit right now on the USD CAD. All right, so if gold decides to reverse right here in this gap between these two levels, I would need it to close all the way below 2040 in order to take a position. So that would need to be a 50 pip, almost a 50 pip pullback in order for me to take this move down, which sucks. I miss out on taking 50 pips from this point, but it's the safe way to trade here. We only have 12 minutes left of this candle. Geez, that is a monster candle. Holy shit. 150 pips on the body right now. Yeah, it would have been nice if this was 150 pips on the downside. But nope. So your Euro NZD short 3 positions. Close to, I can't see the 2% loss. Yeah, 2%. I think that will probably top out at about 2050 today. But my concern here at entering at 2050 is, we had this initial push. 2050 may only give me a temporary pullback before, and that pullback could only maybe be extended to 2040 before a continued push on the upside. Now, why is the thing that I probably could have questioned was, do I close out my trades on gold right before this push up? And I can handle some drawdown here, but it's gonna get tighter if it doesn't reverse at 2050. because I'm now running into about 8.5% drawdown on gold. And you know, I typically can handle about 20% drawdown. So I still have quite a bit of room. You can actually see where 15% is. It's quite a bit higher. You can see all the way up at 2074. So that's 15%, and that's typically where I've kept my drawdown on this account since using the support and resistance indicator. So I've got a lot of room, but shit, I'm way down here, almost at 2,000 now. So almost 500 pips from my initial order. And that means that, you know, I have to stack heavily at these next levels, and if I don't get a substantial pullback, then it gets tricky. Okay, so that's a pretty good reaction on the USD CAD. 32 pips so far. It's not hedging out my trades very well though. I needed a much higher lot size. All right, so it's about 7 minutes left to the close of this candle. Interesting reaction, though. I mean, the inflation being expected, USD selling off, so that's going to be a pretty big buy-in for the U.S. market. Indices, stocks, inflation getting under control, you know. You know, it probably means that they'll, I wonder if they'll start cutting interest rates. All right, so we're almost there to 2050. What is the best U.S. broker for trading grid? Well, they all require FIFO, so you know, the close orders with the FIFO regulation rule. I think that Forex.com offers some good options, but I haven't tried them in a while. I've used Oanda quite a bit, but they all offer MT5 TradingView now, and RFT algos allow you to close out on FIFO as well. It's annoying, but it's they're capable of doing it. I just haven't tried Forex.com in like 10 years or something. It's been a long time. All right, so I think that this 2050 is going to be the top of the move, based on this gap between these two levels, and I do want to have some placement on these. So this will be my first recovery trade at 2050, and then I'll be placing another one or two at 2054 just in case price hits that level. But you see this? You see how muted the reaction on the EU is? That's interesting. It is, because it just doesn't. Based on this reaction on gold. That's crazy. So maybe this means that there could be still a pretty substantial pullback coming in for gold. I would like it for it to get really close to touching this level, this 2050. Instead of just starting to have its pullback just before that. And sometimes that happens where it will get really close, like within a few pips, and then have a huge pullback at that point. All right, so I'm actually going to pending order this. So what you're seeing here on the UJ, all right. I don't know. So this is how I'm seeing this. Is that okay? So we're gonna push into maybe level one, and then have maybe a big whipsaw. This it's possible that this is still coming in, and it's just because the market isn't showing itself across all pairs right now. Um, it's not in unity. The correlations are not quite right. This reaction on gold is substantial, like way overblown for what it should be getting right now based on the cross pairs and the majors. And it's going to be a strong close on this candle. And now it's rolling 185 pips almost. That's so stupid. And look at the EU. The EU's run up, what is this, 10 pips? That's just insane. This is the impulsive behavior that I was talking about. Like that, I don't think anybody should really be a part of this. Yeah, it's great when you're on the right side of this. So if you bought right here in anticipation for this to run up, that would have been awesome. But if you get stuck on the wrong side, which you inevitably will, you're gonna get price going against you in a big way. All right, so what I'm expecting to happen is in the beginning of the next candle, this should pop up, and then hopefully have that pullback from there. Yeah, I don't. It's just the problem is I don't know if it's going to be strong enough. It the maximum I see it pulling back to is 2040, and I don't even know if that will happen today. It's starting to run out of steam though. Right before hitting this major level of resistance. So I would have to see a rejection now if it doesn't reach that level. So you see the USD CAD, right? This this is it's probably a 1 hour support. So I'm only showing the daily, but it stopped. The candle, the H1 candle stopped at that level. So this could be where things get changed, potentially change direction. Or maybe there's just a late reaction on the EU and GU and other USD major pairs. All right, just a few pips away. I still think that this probably has more to go. So like at least touching this 39,000 resistance before pulling back down. Um, it's not. It may not make it. It might. It may not make it to 2050. So if that's the case, then I'm gonna have to wait for a rejection on at least on the M5. And so I want to see a wick on this candle at level 1 and a bearish, it closing pretty strong bearish, like a full candle below the previous candle open or close, previous candle close. If it does that, then I can take this trade. And if it does happen to run back up again, then I can take another position at 2050, just in case price decides that it's not going to make it all the way to 2050. Giving me a rejection just before it is okay, and I want to make sure and try to catch this move. Now hopefully it doesn't move too fast and push too far down, giving me into a bad, not great positioning. But I have to wait for this candle to close though, so it's about 2 minutes out. So it has to be a strong close. I don't want there to be much wick on the bottom. I wish this would have happened at 2050. I would have stacked. Oh, shoot. I entered that way too soon. Ah, that sucks. I thought that was the end of the candle. I might have to close this out if this doesn't give me a full body at the close of the M5, which would be a small loss. That sucks. Ah, that's so annoying. Look at my freaking time, my market watch. Ugh. So if this candle doesn't close out or close bearish, yeah, I'm probably gonna have to close this out. That sucks. I might consider leaving it in, but I don't want to be stacked up here. That's $32 loss. That's not bad. It's just that's really dumb. That's exactly why I wait for the candle closures, is to get that that potential rejection. And I might still get it, or it might still react, but it's not the same. So that's a stupid $32 loss there, or $35 loss. So at this point, I need to wait until price reaches again 2050. If it does end up pushing down here, which I don't think it has, it's not showing me enough rejection on any time frame yet to really take that. Not even on the M1. Still very muted reaction on the EU. Still seems like it's waiting for something. All right, so the USD CAD trying to break through this H1 support in this next candle. This is probably going to be the heaviest defense line before breaking further down from there. Gold should have a reaction to this level, this 2050. It's just a matter of if it will reach that level before having a reaction. Maybe at 2048, it might just reverse there. All right, getting real close. Get this 2050 knocked out. Damn, this gold just won't come down. Yes, it will not come down. The market is acting like it's a temporary move, from what I can tell. So, you know, maybe I'm wrong with that. But indices are about to reach this 39,000. So that could cause a shift. I don't know what would really cause it, but based on how price is moving, technically speaking, yeah, it's seeming like there could be a change in direction. So I don't know if this whole thing is going to get show like a full recovery. I doubt it's going to drop 200 pips today, but it could at least drop to 2040 and have a pretty substantial pullback from 2050. So the plan would be, once this hits and enters my trade, then I might start entering more trades on the downside as levels are broken. All right, so there it's almost done. All right, I'm in. Here we go. All right, this trade will stay in. And it even will stay in if price continues to push up to 2054. And that's when I'll enter a second trade, is up at the top there. Okay, so USD CAD is really pushing. This is for US traders, the ones that don't have gold that are using my our copier. Yeah, they're hitting it big on this USD CAD trade right now. All right, so I'm hoping that this is the top. Really would like this to be the top. It gets more tricky to enter on the downside. I have to wait for levels to be broken. So this means at least level 1 here and then level 2. And there's a pretty big gap between these two levels. And I probably would need a higher time frame closure below one of those levels. The M5 or M15 to really give me some idea that this is going to start falling. All right, so the EU is having a late reaction, and so is the GU. But level 5 is around the corner, which is that half number. So see if that gives some kind of reaction. That's not a great sign when the EU and GU start picking up speed right as gold is hitting a major level of resistance. That could give gold enough reason to push to the next level of resistance at 2054. No, no reversal candles pretty much on this entire move, even on the M1. This is like the first kind of one. This one was bullish, this move is. Yeah, you're right. It is month end. So could be why this is really pushing up. Everybody wants to cover their books. It is slowing up here. You saw a little bit. We saw a little bit of slowing in this pocket of price right in here. It's starting to slow a little bit in here too. So that's a good sign at least. But I can't stack multiple trades up at 2050 with the possibility that this could push up further to 2054. All right, so let's see. My profit target was all the way down here before, and that's for a 3% gain, which would be nice to take on this basket. So right now I need, with my top order, I need price to fall about 335 pips. Yeah, and that's to get 3% profit. So my break-even average price is 2023, which is not so bad, but it's still 250 pips, 264 pips. All right, so I can't get an M15 rejection. I can probably get an M15 inside candle, but no rejection on the M30. I can't get a rejection on the H1, just structurally speaking, and not even on the M5 at this point. All right, so what I want now is I still have about 5 minutes, well, 3 minutes before this candle closes. I think it needs to be better than just a candle closure below this level 1. This M15 just opened. All right, time to go to the lower time frames to see if I can get hints on if this move on the tops on the upside is slowing on other major pairs. This should help me on with my gold trade. All right, so you can see that the USD is, again, I think that the one of the best pairs to get USD strength is the UJ, because it's very one-sided. It's almost entirely driven by the USD, and so it's showing a support here at 149.5, or close to 149.5. So this is basically the last line of defense in that block of price. So this zone that's I've been talking about in my last, I think it was my last video, you can see that there is a gap between the top to this level and this level to here. So this is a zone, like a pocket right here, and it's been range trading in that whole zone. And now it might be finding support on the last level, and that could be an indication that we could be seeing a change. Just, it might be early. It's still really early in the session. That this move on gold was within basically 1 hour. Not even 1 hour. It's been like, it was basically 30 minutes. That 200 pip move. Yeah, that's a 175 pip move in basically 30 minutes. Okay, so we still have plenty of time left in this session, and that's a huge move. I really doubt we're going to see another 200 pips on the upside. I feel like there's only one way that this is going to turn out, is it's going to move down from here. I don't know how much it's going to be, so I need to keep an eye out on the UJ to see how much it's giving me on hints. So we're going to go down to the M5 or M15. And it's definitely rejecting off of that 149.6 level. All right, so I'm going to enter another trade here on gold at 2048. And this is when it gets more dangerous, because if I'm wrong and price pushes up further, then my drawdown starts to escalate, and especially because I'm looking at higher lot sizes up here. All right, so I'm going to wait for this candle closure. I want it to be strong. I'll enter the trade just a couple seconds before it ends. Okay, that's a pretty good candle closure below level 1. All right, I'm going to move this over closer to gold. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and close out my USD CAD trade at this level 3. I think I'll wait until I get some kind of rejection candle off this level 3. It actually did kind of happen already right here, this one right here. So that's on the M1 though. I think I kind of want an M5 rejection off of it. All right, so USD CAD's pushing down just below level 3. Gold is still having a reaction from the top at 2050. USD buying coming in on the UJ. I kind of need the USD CAD to stop at this 1.35565 level. Still some strength coming in on some USD pairs. UJ is not one of them. It's showing some strength coming in, but the others still having a little bit of push left in them. Oh, there's that there's that reaction. Okay, so I want to see this close above the previous open, then I'll close it out. So yeah, basically a bullish engulfing, a rejection. So it needs to close above the previous open, and that would be a solid rejection on the M5, and then that enough for me to close out the trade. It's almost sure going to close this. Going to be closing this out. Be about a 35 pip profit hit if I end up closing it out. About 20 seconds left to get this rejection. Doesn't look like it's he's going to have enough. Yep, that's not enough, so I keep it in. It was short about a pip. If I get too much bounce here, if it does still bounce, you know, like 5 pips, I'll probably still close it out. But at this point, I'm going to wait for another rejection on the M5. USD hopeful buy-in starting to look a little bit weaker, so this candle has lost about 4 pips. All right, so selling at the top, ugly account drawdown for those that are just joining, but looking to get the top of the gold move. All right, so my average price line has now dropped to 20 and 29, so it's not as bad now. Still about 186 pip move that I need on the downside to get out of this trade. At least I've gotten a bit of reaction. It's only about 18 pips though, and it could be temporary. If this needs to fall. All right, so another rejection possibility coming in on the UCAD. Again, looking for bullish engulfing. So this needs to have, you know, a wick on the bottom, be above level 3, and have a pretty strong body close, bullish. And then that's my indication to get out. All right, so it's gold is playing with this level 1, so it did initially close below it, but using it on the M1 as resistance, as a really minor resistance, really small. So kind of want to see uh, price react and close back down below it, would show that, you know, it's finding a top out. But we'll see. All right, so I'm going to get ready to close this UCAD out. It's a bigger candle than I was hoping for, so I'm losing some of my profit on it. But it's not bad. Still 33 pips profit on this. I like where price is, considering we still have a lot of the New York session left. It's still early. There's still a lot of room for price to move. All right, so about 30 seconds left of this trade. That's good. That's if this ends with a wick above level 1 in body, bearish body, below that, that's great. The same thing that's coming in on the UCAD. So maybe some USD strength coming into the market. All right, that trade is now closed out. It was a pretty good trade. Ended up with about 32 pips profit on that. So that would be a pretty decent buy-in for the UCAD, at least on the M5 time frame. It may not be enough of a trade, a signal to push all the way back up to recover its 32 pips. We'll have to wait and see on that. UJ, okay, so still reacting to that level. M30 close just happened, and a nice wick on that candle. It still doesn't really look great though. I need to see a push into be above level 4 here in order for that continuation above the 149 level, 149.6 to continue. All right, so gold did give me that candle that I was looking for, but looks like there could be a counter move taking place where we have the wick on the top below level 1, right? The bearish candle, but if there's a wick on the bottom and a bullish that closes above the previous open, even on the on the M5, then this could be a potential run back into the 2050 level. So it matters what how this candle closes here in about 4 minutes. Gosh, it's hard to get a good visual of this because this move is so aggressive. All right, so indices are just about to touch 39,000. So this could give a reaction when price hits that level. which could start a bigger move on the downside, which I hope for. Well, this candle is, I'm not liking how this candle is forming. Don't want it to close like that. I don't know if it's going to aim for 2060. I doubt it will go all the way up there. So right now, I think that I still think that the top of the move is 2050. It's a good number for price to reverse on. Just like banks and institutions, looking at round numbers, uh, half numbers. It's kind of like a natural support and resistance level. So I think that this is the top of the move, and I'm not sure how far it will go, but I think that at least to 2040 before considering a run back up to 2050. But I kind of think that this is going to be a top of the move, and there's going to be a substantial pullback um, into Friday's trading as well. But uh, look at that change of heart. So trying to push up and then gave another rejection. So I can't. I'm tempted to stack this. I'm tempted. I think I need to wait though. It's still a little too close. It's too close to the top here. That's a good rejection candle though. I need to wait for another closure below this level 2, or at least a follow through of this previous candle, and then I might be able to add to it. Let's see what the market is other places. All right, yeah, yep. Look at a follow through on the M5 reaction there. Okay, didn't quite make it to 39,000, but it's pretty close. It's already having kind of a reaction there at it. I kind of wish I've entered the trade here on this. It's pretty close blocking. Let's see, maybe I can get something better on the M15. Nope, nothing on the M15, nothing on the M30, nothing on the H1. Looks like the M5 is all I have. So my concern here now is if I enter at level 2 for a closure on the M5 below level 2, that's where I think that there could be the continuation happen. So pull back down to 2045 and then that continuation or that retest. So this level is key in my opinion of the trend continuing, or we cut breakthrough and we push all the way down to 2040. So this is going to be a really key level. Now I'm going to probably watch this on the M1 to see how price reacts to it, because this will be basically the last, in my opinion, last line of defense before this has the chance to push and continue back up. But because this moved so abruptly, so quickly, I think it's probably unlikely for it to continue back up and make new highs. The only possibility here is it continues back up and retests 2050 and then has a bigger fall after that. That's how I see this playing out. I doubt that we'll see a pullback here and then a continuation to 2054. I don't think it has enough momentum for that, but I could be wrong. All right, let's. Yeah, you bet. I hope it's, my thought process helping some of you guys. It's, I think that I take in maybe a lot more than your average trader, where I'm watching everything down to the small time frames, how fast price is moving, the rejection candles, uh, the process of looking at other pairs for hints on when strength is coming into a pair or when it's leaving, uh, and trying to take maximum profits. Sometimes that can scare me out of trades because I'm looking at the M1 and M5 timeframes. Um, but it's probably for good reason that I'm getting scared out of these trades. It's because there's indecision happening in the market, and it's probably a better idea not to be in that trade when that's happening. And so that's why yesterday I was entering and exiting a lot of gold trades um, because the market just wasn't doing what I was looking for. Let's see if I can find it. Yeah, you can see here. So initially yesterday I entered sell trades here and here, and price started pushing down, and then I realized, you know what? I think that this is going to be a temporary move on the downside. And I was right. Ended up, entering buy trades. It just wasn't happening, wasn't giving me what I was looking for. Same thing here. Price pushed down and eventually made that move on the upside. And I missed it because it came too late. And it pushed all the way up into 2036 and then fell just before the news, and then now where we're seeing price. I should add some music now. Yeah, that's a fair point. Because my playlist is only about an hour, and these streams go a lot longer than an hour. Let's see. Yeah, the USD buying is still coming in here. We got that rejection on indices. I hope this means that gold's going to fall more. Until I get some more tracks, I'm going to find a playlist that's hopefully okay. So there's a run up back up to 2048. And look at that. That's a pretty impulsive move there. Okay, so this could cause me to close out my positions depending on how strong this is. And it's before level 2, which is interesting. Yeah, not what I like to see. Yeah, I know. It's because if it's just because it's a stream. So, you know, I've seen so many streams, and if you want the chat in the video on the top right, then it has to kind of be a smaller screen. I can zoom in on things, but it's definitely harder to see. And I think it's just something that we'll have to deal with if I want it to be kind of in the stream format here. All right, so we're going to see if this is where price has its double top. It has a fair amount of momentum right now, which is not great. So it has enough to push through this level right now. So we'll have to wait and see. No, yeah, I want to get out of this gold trade. Yeah, trust me. But I stay in it until I don't see a reason to anymore. And it's been a long 2 weeks. It sucks. Um, but then I'll be focusing in on major pairs. I mean, like, look at this. It's been great. Like the EU from level 5 to level 2, that's 30 pips. From level 2, almost up to level 5, it would be in 20 pips profit right now. And trades this week pushing down to from level 5 to level 2, then from level 3 to level 2. There's a lot of profit to be made on EU at least. Okay, so not dead yet up here at the top at 2050. This run up was a little bit scary, and it still could have a momentum to break through, but this candle's okay, showing that there's still some selling pressure up here at the top. Uh, UJ trying to break beyond 149 to 631. Ooh, it's being tested. Sorry, man, my microphone's off. Uh, USD buying strength is barely holding on. I mean, it's already kind of breaking through on the UCAD. Rejection is still coming in on indices. This this kind of this is weird movement on USD selling coming back in is inconsistent. It's not showing itself across everything yet. All right, some reaction to 2050 again. Good. Hopefully this means it's gonna push down further. Looking for it to break this level and to push to level 2. Yeah, so I am going to be pushing out an update to the Powerhouse. I was actually going to try to do that today, but some recent, um, I guess, developments in the Powerhouse. So I'm going to go into the Discord right now to show you guys what's been taking place here and why I might postpone this update. So uh, you can see here that one of our members has posted results for a 30% stop loss. And it looks like, so he's put it down at a 15% stop loss as well. It shows that there might be some reason to get rid of the beta set files that were running a 20% stop loss. So I need to look this over a little bit more to see. But because he ran a full back test, like I do, showing that monthly performance using a 30% stop loss medium risk at 30% stop loss. That's interesting. So he did run that, and looks like it's better. This is something that we were all curious about, to see if running medium risk with a 30% stop loss would give better results. And it looks like it's more consistent than using a 30% stop loss with high risk. This is what 30% stop loss with high risk looks like. Uh, it's going to be up to the person, I guess, but something I need to do more research on before releasing that update, because it might adjust how I do the set files. And I was also going to do a crackerjack update on as well too, that removes the gopher and sorry, the crackerjack update that removes two of the strategies, the AU and the EU2. And the powerhouse is going to be officially removing the gopher and the crackerjack strategies as well. I don't know. The USD buying is showing some weakness, but I'm still getting a reaction on gold. Sorry, my chair is squeaky. I'm not sure if you guys can hear that. All right, so while we're waiting for that, I wanted to check EA performance today to see how things are going. All right, still recovering the loss from this one. Not much profit today so far. It's been pretty quiet. The sharpshooter's having a pretty decent week. All right, so USD is selling coming in, yet gold is still falling. That might be temporary though. And it's because the USD is kind of falling across all pairs right now. So we'll see if this is only temporary, which would suck for me, but you can see the Aussie USD, same thing, breaking past that. So I could be in danger pretty soon at this 2050 level. Ah, why does that keep happening? Considering closing out this second position on gold. All right, so it's targeting the next level of support. All right, so I'm being safe here. I'm closing out the second position. I don't like how I'm seeing what I'm seeing on like the UJ, for example, where it's aggressively trying to push through. It doesn't mean that gold will pop up, but I shouldn't be double stacked here if this USD selling is coming in. If this doesn't start moving pretty soon down, I might end the stream, because if it's looking like price isn't going to make a reversal or change direction, then it's probably just wasted time. So now I have to wait for price to break either this level or have a closure below level 2. So getting rid of my second position here is a precaution. Even though price might still fall, it's safer considering what's happening across the market right now. All right, so we're just about to have the candle close. I'm considering closing out this trade as well. Yeah. You can see price breaking through on the UJ, the USD CAD, and getting closer to resistance levels on the pound and the EU. But it's getting a little bit tricky up here at 2050. It might still hold, and gold could hold out and wait out these moves on the other pairs, but it's becoming a little bit risky. So at this point, I'm going to hold it for now. I'll probably close it out, maybe at a break even, and I might possibly leave it in. We'll see. I'll wait a little bit. But UJ breaking out of that zone, this could get weird. All right, so I've closed out now all of my trades on the gold, on gold, anticipating a further move on the upside. So I don't know if that's going to happen. I'm going to wait for it to see if I can get a rejection up here at the top. Yeah, I might add this trade back in pretty soon. But I need a better indication that price is stopping, and right now it's not the case across the market. So wait this one out. I think I'm going to end the stream for now, since I don't think we're going anywhere anytime soon. And we'll see how things kind of shape out for tomorrow. It sucks, not much movement on this, and it looks like it's going to continue down for the session. Things could change. There's still quite a bit of time left. But I don't see that happening in the next hour or two at this point. And so that's why I think that it's probably best for me to end the stream right now, because I think there'd be a lot of waiting time for the market to do what I want, and I don't think that's going to happen. All right, guys. I think that is going to be it for today. I might have a stream tomorrow if this decides that it's going to all of a sudden just start falling. Then I might have a stream tomorrow. But if that's not the case and I'm still kind of waiting this out, then I might end streams for the week. Thanks for joining in, guys. Sorry you didn't get to see much. It's good that I was able to come out with some profit, mostly on the USD CAD. And maybe we'll pick things up either tomorrow or next week. Thanks for watching. See ya.